Dear audience, do subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell so that you will be first notified when I upload a new video. This channel is to help you break away from any forms of subjectivity. Seeing things clearly and objectively will make you a calm and peaceful person. I am promoting the reflection process with logical thinking and to demonstrate how to do reflection process objectively with logical thinking. The topic today is how to be persistent. How to be persistent? This is not a simple question. It has many aspects and different bases. Persistent is a never give up quality, but this quality will remain as a quality if it is not being driven or being used. Have you thought about this? Therefore, the question is not about how to be persistent. It is why would you be persistent? To talk about why would you be persistent, first, you must be the one. Otherwise, you can't tell what's going on in your intrinsic world because persistence is the expression of what has happened intrinsically. I will elaborate this with my own testimonies logically, starting with stage 1, mindfulness. Stage 1, mindfulness. This is about facts and information. The topic today is how to be persistent. First of all, let's get the facts right. What is persistent in dictionaries? Take a look at this Oxford Dictionary and also take a look at this Cambridge Dictionary. What do you see? What are the keywords? Do you see that the keywords are continue in spite of difficulty over a prolonged period? In this video, I'm giving 2 testimonies describing what had happened in me when I was persistent as the facts. Then we will go through logical thinking and action plan. In a hindsight, I realized that when I was persistent, 3 key factors was going on in my intrinsic world. Number 1, desire. Number 2, clarity. Number 3, belief. I will go through this one by one in stage 2 and stage 3, logical thinking and action plan. Stage 2 and stage 3, logical thinking and action plan. Testimony 1. Since the age of 10, I desire to be recognized as an intelligent and capable individual. At that time, I was quite good at study. I saw that excelling in study was the way. Therefore, I believed in education. I studied very hard to get good results. However, at one point, my father could not afford my education and I had to work first. But I did not give up. I was persistent because I saw clearly that education was the only way for me. I overcame all the difficulties. Eventually, I managed to complete my master's degree from the university in the UK. Do you see the sequence? First, I had a desire. Then I clearly saw that education was the only way for me. I had no other way. Because of this, I believe in education wholeheartedly. I persisted and never gave up. Ultimately, I achieved my goal. Testimony number 2. This is about my desire to go abroad. I desire to have a new life in a new environment. But how? I didn't have any experience working abroad. One thing I was clear that I had intelligibility and capability. More importantly, I was not afraid of any challenge. Because of this clarity, I believe I stood a good chance, and I started to look for opportunity. Of course, it's not easy. I was turned down many times due to no experience, but I refused to give up. I continued to try many other ways. Eventually, I had the opportunity to speak to the CEO directly because that position was critical to the company. They needed someone to do direct market penetration in the US. As the CEO was the hawk-eyed person, he was able to discover the talents in me. In addition, he was impressed of my persistency and determination. Yes, I got it. Finally, I got the opportunity. I had overcome any difficulty and never gave up. Do you see the pattern in these two testimonies? Both started with desires, then seeing clearly what took to achieve what I desire. Because of seeing clearly, I believe in the way to go. Therefore, I persisted and never gave up until I had achieved what I desire. However, not all the desires and beliefs could be achieved through persistency. Why? In a hindsight, these are what I saw. Number one, wholeheartedness. I can tell now in reflection, when I could be persistent, it's because I wholeheartedly desired and believed. And when I couldn't persist, it's because there's room for options or priority. For example, when I thought it's okay if I don't get it, or it's okay, this is not my top priority, or thinking this is not the only way, I could do it in other way, etc. In other words, if there is a reason for me not doing it, I couldn't persist. I could persist because I had fixed my mind on it wholeheartedly. Number two, lack of clarity. There were times that I was not absolutely clear, as my reflection process was not thorough. As a result, I made a mistake in what I chose to believe. When I realized that I believed in the wrong thing and the wrong way, it was already halfway through. I had missed the best time to get what I desired. In fact, I did receive signals from my instinct, but I chose to ignore it or delay responding to it. Sometimes when you miss it completely. Point number three, intrinsic drive versus extrinsic force. Persistence is a never give up quality in us. This is intrinsic. Persistence is not a learned behavior. A learned behavior is a result of extrinsic force or pressure, like the monkey mimicking the human behaviors. It does not last. Therefore, persistence must be driven from within, especially the long-term desire. The difference between determination and persistency is time factor. You can be determined to complete a task or a goal within a short time, but persistency is over a prolonged period on the basis of determination. Therefore, extrinsic force or pressure is not likely to make persistency successful. If you have to learn persistency, this is extrinsic because you are learning techniques and skills. Techniques and skills may help to a certain degree, but the true power is the drive from within. That is the desire, the clarity, the beliefs, etc. Suggestion for action plan is reflect on the times when you couldn't persist. Upgrade your understanding of the word desire. The desire I mentioned above in my testimonies is the governing desire. For example, you desire to have a new life. You desire to be successful. You desire to be recognized. etc. Remember these key words. Over a prolonged period. Persistency is continuing firmly over a prolonged period. It is about pursuing a long-term goal. You may have mixed up with the word persistency and determination. You can be determined to get something done and until it gets done, but it might not involve persistency if it is short time. Pay attention on these three key factors: wholeheartedness, lack of clarity, and intrinsic versus extrinsic, instead of seeking for the ways and means of how to be persistent. The point is, when you get these three intrinsic factors right, persistency will flow out naturally. Persistency is the product of the intrinsic power. In conclusion, how to be persistent. The truth is, if you are a persistent person, you will know what to do in order to be persistent. If you need to know how to be persistent, it is a challenge to be successfully persistent. Therefore, the question is not about how to be persistent. It is why would you be persistent? Why? Because, number one, you have a long-term desire and you are wholehearted. Number two, you are absolutely clear that you have what it takes to get what you desire. Number three, on the basis of clarity, you believe in the path you choose and you determine to reach the destination. This is persistency. This is why you can be persistent. Dear audience, do subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell so that you will be first notified whenever I upload a new video. I am Alicia Tay, a certified professional coach and an HRDF certified trainer. I am promoting a reflection process with logical thinking to gain clarity. I will continuously demonstrate reflection process with logical thinking in different topics. My concern is your way of doing reflection. I am concerned of the basis of interpreting reflection. Yes, looking into yourself is the first step of doing reflection, but be mindful of what is the basis of your thinking. Are you objective? Before you say yes, understand what is objective. Do you base on facts and information? Are your facts and information credible? Are you doing logical thinking? Or you simply think about what others say? Learn to do reflection process objectively by watching Reflection Time with Alicia Tay, because reflection is the beginning of wisdom. Logical thinking leads to clarity. Clarity leads to wisdom. And wisdom leads to purity. Eventually, we want to be a wise person and we want to have a successful and peaceful life. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.